What's happening, everybody? Welcome. Today is Friday. Fri-Yay. Woo! We made it. September 2nd, 2022. My name is Jeremy, and this is my first cup. Good morning to Mark and Stacy and John and Brian and all the rest of you, whether you're watching live later or listening. Thank you for coming by. As always, I want to shout out and thank Frank for all of his work behind the scenes, Josh for his work on the theme song. How was your Thursday? How did it go? Did you check out that episode of Martial Arts Radio? Did you watch it? Did you see Andrew and I putting together a puzzle? Did you realize how much better at puzzles Andrew is than I am? Good morning, Frank and Jenny and Dennis. Dennis threw a picture up just a bit before we started. He's got 3 whistlekick, 3 bugs going on, which I got a kick out of. I got to close that one now. I don't need that going on right now. Coming back here. Here we go. Well, I hope you had a good Thursday, whatever it was. I had something very interesting happen. This is the puzzle, and yeah, Andrew's most definitely faster. Though I found the corners. I found the 4 corners. That's pretty much all I did. Do you want to potentially have that puzzle? Maybe with some signatures on it? You should get the VIP bundle for Free Training Day Northeast. Just saying. We're throwing a lot of cool stuff at that program. Frank says we sold a lot of wine yesterday at work for the upcoming Labor Day weekend. I believe it. So most of you know, all of you know, I don't know. I am here in southern Massachusetts because it was the place in New England that had the highest density of higher end shopping. The Rentham outlets are 5 miles away from where I'm staying. I needed some inspiration for the fall and winter lines for whistlekick. And I thought, you know what, let me walk around stores. I had a hard time falling asleep. And so I did that. And I was fully prepared if I saw something. I like to buy things. But not only did I not buy things, I left with more money than I came in with. I'm walking around, I found a $5 bill on the ground, and there was nobody around. I was like, all right, sweet. I went shopping and made money. Boom. How many of you can say that? Yep. I'll tell you, shopping is not fun when you really have no interest in anything. It's all crap. Most of the clothing stores, even the ones I used to shop at, like the quality of their stuff has just gone so far downhill. Eddie Bauer, Nautica. I used to buy stuff at these stores and no need. Frank's calling it Jeremy's fashion field trip. Well, I did get 3 of what's probably going to be 7 or 8 items for the fall collection done. Last night's samples are already ordered. Those will be here. I'm expecting us to have those rolled out probably end of the month. If all goes well, we will have some photos to go with it. Gad says good morning, even though it's already 12:34 here. I'm also still yawning. Well, that makes me feel a little bit better. This morning, of course, you talk about yawning and yawn more. This morning, I'll be checking out of the hotel room, but before I do, hoping to get the last few items over the goal line so I can get samples ordered on those. And then I've got all the notes for the winter line too, and we'll work on those as soon as I'm done with the fall line, because it's got to get done. I'm happy with what's coming together. I think you're all going to like this stuff. We've got some stuff coming back out of the vault. Plenty of new designs. Came up with a graphic yesterday that I really like. I think you're all going to dig. And put it on something we've never made before. And I'll let you guess as to what that might be. I also yesterday, I wanted to show you all this. I thought this was fun. I started playing around with some digital art. It's something that I've been interested in, And this is one of the benefits to me taking, I don't want to call it time off, but some time away. My brain works differently. And so I started playing around with some things. And if you follow me on Facebook or Instagram, you may have seen an image that I worked on. Stacy's saying steampunk logo, steampunk logo, steampunk logo. That was not one of the items I worked on yesterday, but I will just say it's in the notes. So the short of it is, in this system, okay, I need to stop yelling. Yes. In the system, you feed it words, and so the words for this were worldwide karate. Because I tried martial arts and it came up with nothing. It couldn't handle it. And so I worked from this to a few other things, and I ended up with this. And again, some of you may have seen this. I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with this. I like this image. I think it came out well. And so the question really is, what do I do with this? I'm thinking I'm going to continue to experiment with this, but the idea of putting these on canvas or on metal, because the company that we use for all of our apparel allows us to put an image on metal, and it's not cheap. An 8x10 of this, by the time it's shipped in, is like $80. But this, I got to imagine that this will look really cool on a wall. And it goes up. You can get the sizes way. I'm showing you, but the camera's not big enough. You can get the sizes really big. Good morning, Nathan. Brian says, can you superimpose the whistlekick logo in the clouds background like a ghost image of it? That starts to stretch my graphical skills, but maybe. The system doesn't know about whistlekick. I tried. I put in whistlekick. I put in my name, and it fell apart on both of those. Jenny's saying, make a trapper keeper. And I was playing with one, just to show you a little bit of the process. I was playing with one just before we went live. I gave it the words Taekwondo, superhero, kicking, blue sky, white fluffy clouds, and these were the 4 options it came up with for me. I don't really like any of them, so I'm going to go back to the drawing board. But I thought this was fun. I like it. It's giving me something to kind of make my brain go, and I'm digging that. So we'll see where it takes me. It would not surprise me if something like this is one of the kind of secret, unique elements that ends up in somebody's free training day VIP bundle. And Kat says, is he riding an invisible motorcycle? Yes, that's exactly what he's doing, especially the one in the bottom right. That's how I see it as well. But it's fun. You got to do stuff that's fun. If anybody is interested in playing around with it, Midjourney is the software. I'm almost done with my free trial, so I'm going to end up paying for it. It's only $10 a month for the base plan, and I'm okay with that. I've definitely had $10 of fun out of it, and I could totally see. So, like, I'll share it again. I could totally see this on a shirt or something. I think that would look pretty sweet on the back of a hoodie or something. So, do we end up doing it? I don't know. Maybe. We'll play with it. By we, I mean me. All right, so there's that. Now, I want to know more about what's going on with you today and through the weekend. Reminder, no show on Monday. I'm actually going to sleep in. So what's going on today? I'll do some more work until I have to check out. I'll check out. And then I drive to Andrew's, going to work with him and Abby on some Superfoot stuff. Hang out, there, and then I'm over to Maine this weekend, dropping some stuff off to some people in Maine, hanging with some friends, uh, crashing, and then coming back to Vermont sometime Sunday morning, and we'll just kind of enjoy the rest of my weekend. Stacy's got a bunch of whistlekick work this weekend. Well, there's Stacy, just as a heads up, we are good to go with plaques in exchange for sponsorship of Free Training Day Northeast. It will cost us $0 out of pocket. I've seen them, they look good. Brian says, he says, sleep in. The chat says, buzz his phone off the nightstand. Well, guess what? I don't sleep with my phone near me, generally. And if I do, I turn it off. Because I don't need radiation at my head while I sleep, number one. Number two, my phone is almost always on silent. So there you go. Anything else going on? I think the only other, here's a funny, I didn't share this with you guys. So you all, most of you know, I rent out my cars. And the Jeep, most of you have seen, is a white Jeep, and it's kind of mean looking in a good way. I had somebody rent it last weekend for a wedding. They're like, we're going to take pictures, I was like, that's really cool. And I saw the pictures, it came out great. They put like flowers all over the off-road bumper. It looked really neat. And this week, somebody booked it again, different person, and they said, this is for a wedding for these people. And I was like, oh, I know somebody with that name. She messaged me on LinkedIn. It's somebody I know, like I know from professional circles. She's like, I think we rented your Jeep for pictures. I was like, oh, that's super cool. So, yeah, I think that's fun. Kelly says, Andrew and I rented a cabin in Orford, New Hampshire by a lake for the weekend with the dogs for some fishing and just hanging out, not bringing the computer. I love that. That's awesome. Have fun. What else is everybody doing? We're going to go into jokes here in a moment, but if anybody else has anything they want to share, I'd love to hear it. Anything else I'm doing? Oh, that kind of kicked off. I was going to say, I was going to do the responsible thing and take my RAV4, which gets, 28 to 30 miles a gallon instead of the Jeep, which I'm excited when it gets 18. But I decided, the Jeep is more fun to drive. If I have a nice day, I can take the top off, waste part of it. And so I'm going to take the Jeep. So I took the Jeep. Gas prices are coming down, so why not, right? Alrighty, time for jokes. Let's do the jokes. Thank you to Frank for the jokes. If you guys have stuff, just drop it in the chat. I'll mention it. Stacy says, wrap the Jeep in the hoodie design. That's kind of cool. Although I think that samurai graphic would look better. I'm working with the designer who did the dragon hoodie, and we may have captured lightning in a bottle once. I'm having a really hard time trying to get him to do what I want to do. It's really frustrating. We're trying to do something that is also a all over print hoodie for the winter collection. We've been working on this for a month, and we're struggling, and so having a hard time here. But all right, the jokes for Funday Friday. For instance, since Jeremy's on vacation, I decided to do extra jokes today. Good jokes never go out of fashion, so these funny fashion jokes and puns will always be on trend. We're sure they'll be your style of humor. Did you hear about the man brought in by the fashion police? They questioned him over his criminal ties. Gay people have no excuse to have a bad fashion sense. Like, homie, what were you doing in the closet that whole time? Why is Princess Zelda the most fashionable person in Hyrule? Because she's really chic. In college, I studied American history and fashion design. My final project was Gettysburg, a dress. Why did the mechanic have a disappointing fashion show? There was no time to change a tire. Why are prosthetic limbs so in fashion? Anyone can pull them off. It's a little dark. What's the cheapest fashion? Freestyle. What do you call a newspaper column that gives advice about fashion wear? An article of clothing. Did you hear about the murder on the catwalk? A model was killed in bizarre fashion. What did the fashion police say to the sweater? I'm going to pull you over. Some solid dad jokes in here. Did you hear about the fashionable scientist who can design your baby to your specifications? They're always bragging about their designer jeans. My favorite way to dress is all in black. Oh, okay. Let me start that over. My favorite way to dress is all in black. My sense of fashion is second to none. Where do fashionable ghosts buy their clothes? A boutique. Topical. We're coming up on Halloween. Well, I guess it's still 2 months to Halloween. But apparently it's pumpkin spice season. See if we can get everybody riled up again. What do mathematicians and fashion designers have in common? They both use models. They say beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So why haven't beekeepers monopolized the fashion industry? Some great stuff in there. Thank you, as always, to Frank. Brian says designer jeans, LOL. And it says Frank Wood, amazing. You gotta love Frank's jokes. Oh, stretch. I'm wearing one of my favorite shirts that has nothing to do with whistlekick. It says lift heavy pet dogs. Stacy says pumpkin spice in pies and soup, not candles and goop. Jenny and Brian are showing their love for Frank and all the jokes that he's got. Is it coach time? I think it's coach time. Maybe eventually I'll wake up. Bed was comfortable. I like a squishy bed, and hotels usually have squishy beds. Where are we? Okay, I'm going to close that one, and then I'm going to go over here. Here we go. Actor and fellow martial artist Wah Yuen turns 72 today. Some trivia from IMDb. Besides Jeet Kune Do, Yuen Wah is well versed in Wu Shu, Hunggar, Hapkido, and Taekwondo. All right, I got to get a picture of this person because I'm not. One of the advantages to me doing this here is that I'm sitting in front of the laptop as opposed to back here with the camera out there, so I can actually type something in. Oh, this guy. Okay. Where's a great? I want to have like a great picture of him. All right. Well, I'm just going to share this now so you can all see. Just in case you are, as I have been struggling to remember who this person is. This guy. This guy. All right. Well-versed in Wu Shu, Hunggar, Hapkido, and Taekwondo. Was killed 3 times in Enter the Dragon. Each time he was portraying a different character. It must have been fun to work on the set there and play different characters, that kind of lower budget. But at the same time, is it not also a bit, how do I want to put it? Were they okay doing that because they were expecting that Western audiences wouldn't pick up on the fact that he played 3 characters? I don't know. Jenny's typing in all caps. Pumpkin spice season starts October 1st and runs until the Thanksgiving leftovers are gone. Well, good luck with it. Gad says he's a legend, one of the great Hong Kong action kung fu movie actors. I will say that the folks who worked in Hong Kong were some of the hardest working people I've ever read about. They do, Shaw Brothers films would be shot in a few weeks, and then they'd film another one, and then they'd film another one. So you had people doing 8, 10, 12 movies a year. That's nuts. All right, and let's see, I'm gonna share this instead. Stop screen. Share. Share. Over here. This. Done. In his autobiography, I Am Jackie Chan, Chan related a story from his youth where he and his fellow Peking Opera students, including Yuen Wah, were forced to do handstands for hours on end. One time they were doing them, and then the master yelled, "Stop!" and all the boys dropped to the ground, except Yuen Wah. The teacher and students went over to see why and found he had fallen asleep while maintaining a perfect handstand. Okay, that's insane. Like that's some next level stuff. Holy cow! Oh, just a heads up, Andrew. So Andrew shoots me this message last night. I'm typing this is how I imagine on Facebook Messenger. He shoots me this message. He's like, "Have you ever seen such and such movie?" Yeah. Oh, good. Because I'm getting one of the stars of this movie on the show, and I was like, "Wait, what? I knew they did martial arts, but seriously?" He says, "Yeah, person that I know's coworker knows this person, and so it's happening." Super pumped. Super pumped. Um, I won't say anything other than I think there are only 3 categories of people with regard to the movie that this person is best known for. You've seen it 100 times. You saw it maybe once, probably halfway through, and turned it off. You've never heard of it. That's my guess. And I suspect that a good number of the people here, like I could already, you know what? I'm going to guess Jenny is in the 100-person camp. Let's see. Gad is probably in that group as well. And most of the rest of you have not heard of it. That's my guess. I don't know when we're recording, but you'll probably remember this conversation, at least those of you who have seen this movie that I'm thinking of. I have 2 copies of the movie. One of them autographed by somebody who's in the movie. I think the only autographed movie I have. And a special edition that I gave to my father that when he passed away, I ended up getting it back. Jenny says, "You're driving me crazy with your vagueness." I enjoy that. It's one of the few things I truly enjoy. Kelly says, "The best of the best actor?" No. No, because no one's watched that movie 100 times. It would rot your brain. If you watch Best of the Best 100 times, you would not be able to type. You wouldn't be able to engage with this. You would be in a coma. Dennis says, "I once fell asleep on the throne. Not as impressive as while holding a handstand." I would agree. Gad says, "There's a terrific documentary on Netflix, Iron Fists and Kung Fu Clicks." Maybe that's supposed to be flicks. Talks about the Hong Kong movie industry. By the way, the majority of Kung Fu flicks in the 60s and 70s were from Taiwan. I did not know that. Interesting. Brian says to Dennis, "Only once?" Right. You guys are too funny. Alrighty. How do you find out who the person is I'm talking about? You join the Patreon. It's the only place I talk about upcoming guests. Once it's booked, we talk about that stuff in there. Don't forget, next Wednesday at 8:30, 9 o'clock, sorry. next Wednesday at 9 o'clock, we're doing our Patreon hangout, available to people in all tiers. So go ahead and make sure you block that off in your calendar. And if you guys want, I'll even tell you on Wednesday who it is. So there we go. Mark apparently is the exception to the rule, says Jenny. He can still type. Mark does love Best of the Best, but we're still friends. I don't hold it against him. Alrighty, everybody. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go eat some food and do some work on some more fall clothing stuff. And I hope you have a great weekend. Good long weekend. For those of you who are going to get up anyway, I hope you have a wonderful group chat if you do that. And yeah, here's a question to anybody who might not be part of that chat but wants to be. Who should they message? Right. I would, I'm not saying it has to be open to everyone, but how does someone get into that chat? Alrighty. Take care. Be well. Stay safe. Train. Kick stuff. Punch stuff. I'll see you on Tuesday. Take care, everybody. And there will still be an episode on Monday.